Come on, tell us. Who did this to you? We need to know.
Yeah, well, we're not the only ones. We ought to get the police in.
No, not yet.
I've told you before, it's down to them now. I don't want you trying to hand out any justice of your own. And don't give me any of that dingle way stuff. There's been far too much fighting and feuding. I want whoever did this to pay for it in court. I don't want you going down as well.
Cain. We need to know what happened.
No story tonight. She's already gone.
Look, are you sure you've got time for this? I thought you'd be wanting to go back to the hospital.
Oh, no, I can't go anywhere until Cameron gets back to look after Sarah. Unless you're offering to babysit. Yeah, sorry, that was a bit tactless. How is the baby?
You're the only one that can really understand what I'm going through. I mean, you've been through it and come out the other side.
I'm not sure I really feel like that until Sarah's better.
Yeah, but she's back with you now. What made you change your mind when you'd give her away?
It's not that simple. It's a long road between now and then.
I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
I remember feeling like that. I had my share of lectures off Lisa and Diane. But in the end, it's your life, your decision.
That's what scares me.
Lisa told me that she'd look after Sarah. But I knew I couldn't live with seeing her every day. And Emily wanted a fresh start, so...
Emily, who's Emily?
It's a long story, but at the time, she seemed like the perfect answer. I thought Sarah would be out of sight, out of mind, and if I did think of her, I'd know she was being well looked after.
But it didn't work out.
When I missed her, I told myself it would get easier. But it didn't. It just got harder. And then she was back here, calling somebody else Mummy.
Mrs. Baby Wyatt.
He's so beautiful.
Hey, he's got Amy's eyes.
Can I pick him up?
Of course you can. I just need to get this. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
How can she even think about losing him?
Well, she seems very determined.
I think it's just panic. Once she really thinks about it, she'll change her mind.
Well, she hasn't shown any signs of that. Don't get your hopes up, huh?
And all she'd have to do is look in this little face, and she won't be able to resist you.
Which is probably why she's not here. Doesn't want to be tempted.
Baby, come in.
Would you know if he said anything yet?
Only that he's woken up. But I'll tell you this, jungle drums will be banging when he names names.
Maybe this was a mistake.
No! Listen, John Barton seems favourite right now, doesn't he? And if Cain confirms that, we're off the hook.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, there's going to be a lot of people pointing at us.
Fine. You stay in the car. But I am not letting that lot stitch us up behind my back, right?
Has he said anything yet?
Is that all you've come for?
I know he is really sick, but this is important.
What? Are you worried he's going to say who put him in there? Because at the moment, that is the only reason I can see for either of you two being here. I'm betting you didn't bring any get-well-soon cards. No, back off! You can't say.
stop me from visiting!
Maybe we ought to go.
Yeah, dead right. Just clear off and leave us to it.
Will you just think for a minute? Can't you see how bad this looks?
I need to know what he's going to say. I left him for dead and I don't know if he saw me.
Yeah, and I was covered in his blood. Doesn't look good for either of us.
Which is why we need to know, all right? You stay here, but at least I am family and I've got every right to be in there.
I'm not as strong as you, though, Debbie. You don't know until you try.
No, I've seen the way you are with Sarah. Putting her first all the time, I couldn't do that.
Well, I have to if I'm going to get her through this. But the chances are your little boy will never have these problems.
I keep thinking of all the places I want to see. Things I want to do. I don't want to be at home every night changing nappies. God, does that make me really selfish?
Well, if it does, so is about every mother in the world. We all feel like that sometimes. And I'm sure Val would be there to babysit if you wanted a night out.
You can count on it.
She's not the only one that cares. Grandad really wants to spend some time with his grandson. He hasn't even seen him yet. He's been set outside the baby unit. They won't let him in without your permission. Family means everything to him and Lisa. I owe them so much, they've always stuck by me. Listen, whatever else you decide, I really hope you put things right so they can at least spend a bit of time with him. If he does go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll sort it tomorrow.
I don't know why I'm being made out to be the villain. Why don't you have a little think about what he's been doing to me over the past few months?
Nothing justifies this. He could have died.
Shut up, the pair of you. Okay, mate, you've had us all worried. Sorry she's here. Some people can't take the hint.
I've told you I am going nowhere. Me and him have got things to discuss, haven't we?
Well, he obviously don't want to talk to you, does he?
Do you want us to chuck her out? And what is it? What's wrong?
Did she do this to you?
You see, I told you that I had nothing to do with it, and now you can stop trying to lay the blame on me, can't you? Then who did it?
Jay.